Hey, Vsus, Michael here. This is unfortunate, but difficult to peel. One of my favorite ways to avoid that is to simply hold the banana and snap it in half. Boom. Difficult to peel. Drop it on the ground. Drop it on the ground. Drop it on the ground. They're actually radioactive. This is fortunate.
But if I picked it up quickly, would it be safe enough to eat? How quickly? I mean, bacteria on the food, bacteria onto the food. Some people call it 5 seconds. Some people call it 10 seconds. Still up.
Others, the 10 seconds. Still up. Jillian Clark famously investigated this question. She found that 50% of men use the women do. More importantly, she found that even brief contact with the contaminated floor will contaminate the contaminated food, wet or dry. The Mythbusters found similar results, and a paper published in the Journal of Applied Microbiology got even more technical.
The researchers contaminated various salmonella, and they found that 5 seconds bacteria
way too long to wait. Bacteria adhere to dropped food almost immediately. But time does matter. After 5 seconds, they found that the food had acquired 5 bacteria. But if left for a full minute, the number they found was 10. Now, considering it only takes about 10 bacteria, you should probably think twice. Oh, and don't complacently think that you're safe because the floor looks clean. Floors make great homes. Also, floors come in contact, and the University of Arizona has found 3% of our shoes fecal bacteria. I've linked all of these studies down in the description. Immediately. I mean, instantly. Is there a limit to how quickly bacteria can move?
Short.
Enough. Well. Touch. I've talked before on Vsauce and on Thinker and Minute Physics and on Vsauce and on Thinker and Minute Physics and on Vsauce. Physics has a great quantum perspective, but when we say and on touch, we tend to think of two objects in between, space. Unfortunately, it's not really subatomic together because their electrons repel. Electrons can be modeled as waves that overlap and interact, but they never touch. There's always space. When I touch something or someone, I'm really just feeling. So if that's the case, how come glue can stick glue together? How come lipstick sticks lipstick? And how can bacteria on a dirty floor stick to bacteria on a dirty floor? The positive charge from the protons in an atom or molecule isn't always balanced perfectly in space by the negative charge from electrons. Sometimes a molecule that's incredibly important. It's the reason things can get wet. In fact, when you get out of the shower, you on average weigh about 1 pound than you did before you got wet. It's also the reason capillary action happens. If you dip a napkin in a glass of water, you can watch the water climb up. They have very strong dipoles, and they're attracted to each other, adhesion, and they're attracted to the molecules of the paper, cohesion, more strongly the pole. If you want to learn more about intermolecular forces, I've put a bunch of links down in the description.
But here's my question, how?
The 5-second rule may be true if we rename it 1 rule.
Spend less time on the floor than that, and it's unlikely that room temperature molecules would have time to be influenced macroscopic level. Glue and other sticky often take advantage of the tiny ends and crannies on an object's surface. Sticky. 2 sheets of paper from a phone book surface, well, then maybe the 5-second rule shouldn't be known as the 1-second rule, because if they're touching, it's already too late, and instead the rule should be known as the don't touch food rule. But come to think of it, maybe we should, including on you right now. There are more bacteria on your body right now than there are people.
There are 40 million bacteria in 1 gram of soil and 5 non-million bacteria on Earth. It's been found that 1 out of every 10 and 1 out of every 7 bills has fecal bacteria. bacteria on it. Here's something fun. Go down to the comment section and type letter V. If you used a mobile phone to do that, congratulations, you just touched maybe. If you're using a desktop keyboard, you're a little safer. You probably only touched about one bacteria. Cell phones are actually one of the most bacteria-ridden things we frequently encounter. If you want to estimate about how many bacteria are specifically on your phone, based on how clean you are, the oatmeal has a really great quiz. You can find that in the description. But honestly, what amazes me the most isn't how dirty our world is or how much bacteria there is. Instead, it's the fact that despite those numbers, we don't get sick more often. Our immune system is amazing, but it relies on the same principles of adhesion that bacteria do. The forces that cause food dropped on the floor to pick up germs are the same forces that we need to fight.
Whether we like it or not. So keep adhering, and as always, thanks.